What's really happening in Ireland's housing market? Is it still that bad, or is it finally getting better? Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into one of the hottest and honestly most frustrating topics right now, the housing market in Ireland. We are going to break down what's going wrong, what's actually improving, how expensive homes really are, and most importantly, how Ireland compares to the UK, including a real example of mortgage costs so you can see who's actually better off. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, Gregory here, and welcome to Gregory's Economics, your economic channel. I am Gregory and this is another episode of weekly series covering global economic news. Unfortunately, a lot is happening around the world right now, so we can't skip any of today's topics. To our loyal viewers, I kindly ask for your support with a thumbs up, as it really helps us a lot. So without further ado, let's get into it. The current situation. So first, what's actually happening in Ireland? In simple terms, prices are high, supply is low, demand is still strong. Ireland has been dealing with a housing shortage for years now. There simply aren't enough homes being built to meet the number of people who want to live there, especially in cities like Dublin. Because of that, prices have risen massively over the last decade. Even though interest rates went up recently, which slowed things down a bit, prices are still very elevated. What are the main problems? Let's talk about the biggest problems. Lack of supply. This is the core issue. Not enough houses are being built and there are few reasons. High construction costs, planning delays, limited land availability in key areas. So even if demand drops slightly, prices don't fall much because there's still not enough housing. And of course, second, affordability crisis. For many people, especially first-time buyers, buying a home feels almost impossible. Prices are high, but salaries haven't kept up at the same pace. So people are renting longer, living with parents longer, or leaving Ireland altogether. And third, high rents. Nobody must buy a house, but renting isn't much better. Rents in cities like Dublin are extremely high, often taking up a huge percentage of people's income. This makes saving for deposit even harder, which fits back into the buying problem. Strict mortgage rules. Ireland has quite strict lending rules. Typically, you can borrow up to 4 times your income and you need at least 10% deposit. This keeps the system stable, but also limits how much people can buy. Then, what's good? Now, it's not all bad. There are some positives. Strong economy. Ireland has a relatively strong economy with a lot of international companies based there. That means good job opportunities, relatively stable demand for housing, government support schemes. There are programs to help first-time buyers like Help to Buy scheme, shared equity options. But we have to remember that those kind of schemes are pushing prices up. So this is a little that government can do, giving people money that pushing prices up. This can make it easier to get on the property ladder, at least for some people. But finally, putting additional money into property market usually is pushing prices up. Housing supply is starting to increase, but slowly. It's not enough yet, but it's moving in the right direction. This is what they say to make people feel better. It's not enough yet, but it's moving in the right direction. Well, this is what they say, but people don't feel it and you don't see that on the market. Let's talk numbers. In Ireland, average house prices are still very high, especially in Dublin. Outside cities, prices are lower but still rising. For example, Dublin homes can easily cost 400,000 euros to 500,000 euros or more. Smaller towns might be 250k to 350k. Compare that to the UK. The UK market is more varied. London is extremely expensive, often even more than Dublin, but many regions in the UK are significantly cheaper than Ireland, so overall, Ireland is expensive relatively to income. The UK has more affordable regions if you are flexible on location, but there are mortgages rates. Ireland has euro, which is 2.15%. United Kingdom has British pound, that is 3.75%. Now, this is really interesting. Mortgage rates. In Ireland, mortgage rates are generally, as we can see on this table, Irish people are in better position than British people because they've got euro. Interest rate in Eurozone is 2.15, and this means that Irish people have better access to low interest rate mortgages. Low interest rate mortgages, what does it mean? In Ireland, you can get 3.8% mortgage to 4.5%, but in the United Kingdom, mortgages are rising sharply in March due to market volatility, and the interest rate is 5.3 or 5.5 or even higher. So difference can be 1.5%, which is a lot. 1.5% on each 500,000 euros is 7,500 less for Irish people a year than for British people. 7,575k in 10 years. This is a lot of money. 225k in 30 years. This is so much money. So Irish people are really better off than British people. Typical new fixed rates in Ireland in March 2026 is 4%, 4.5, 3.8. Example, lender ranges for 4.01 to 4.52. Historically lower averages recent years, often below 4%, sometimes near 3% earlier. Key points: Ireland remains cheaper on average, largely because mortgage prices is tied more closely to European Central Bank ECB rates. Ireland equals cheaper mortgages right now. UK equals higher and rising cost as of March 2026. The gap is significant enough to impact affordability and monthly payments. Higher wages in Ireland and lower interest rate on mortgages together creates a better environment for Irish people on housing market. Houses are very expensive in Ireland as in United Kingdom, and the prices can be higher in Ireland, but higher minimal wage, higher wages and lower interest rate by 1.5 or even 2% creates for Irish people better conditions on housing market. However, situation on housing market in Ireland in cities like Dublin is very difficult. It could be even worse in Dublin than in London, but overall interest rates in Ireland are much lower than in the United Kingdom, and houses are more expensive, but higher wages create a better situation for Irish people. So the situation is bad in the United Kingdom as in Ireland, but Irish people probably are better off as a nation than British people. If you found this episode valuable, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content that is posted here regularly. I also recommend checking out other interesting videos you will see on your screen, placed next to this one along with the subscribe button. Greetings to everyone on this beautiful sunny day, and see you next time. And here's something to cheer you up. You'll catch reaction to rising rent prices in Dublin.